Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you have this up here, man. You must have really thought you did some homework, but so let's start from the top, my friend. You're saying that black men excuse blatant racism
Mhm.
from white people as long as they get to punch down on black women. I don't see the
It doesn't say black
correlation.
women. Wait,
I
it
don't.
doesn't say black women.
Oh, as long as they get to punch down on women. Oh,
Mhm.
excuse me. Women. But then you just said earlier that black men mostly date black women, so you
Yeah.
might as well say black women, brother.
No, but no,
Because
no, 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 no.
what are you
They
talking
don't care
about? The
about no
small
women.
percentage, or are you talking about the majority?
Of
So
course, I'm
which
talking
one you
about the
want to
majority.
discuss? Okay, then. So you got to be so put black women in there because that's who we
But
mainly
I'm talking
date.
about the majority of black men, and the majority of black men are misogynistic, and they punch down on
The
all
more
women, black,
majority
white,
of black men
Asian,
are
Latino, and don't.
misogynistic.
Hold on,
Okay,
man.
okay.
Hold on, Mr. Facts. If you ask me a question and I answer it, please be quiet and let me answer the question. Black men, like all men, right? Like all groups of men, not every man, but like all men, every group of men, they punch down on women. Black men are no exception. Do I think black men also punch down on black women, BWs more? Yeah, absolutely. But there's proximity. They're the closest women to us, so of course we punch down on them more. But it's not specific to black women. It's just black women get it the worst.
It's more than proximity, my brother. It's we're the same race, for one. So even if we were like distances apart, we still should be dating each other just because to rebuild our communities, for one. There's
What
plenty of
community?
long distance relationships, so I would think we would date each other,
That might have been
proximity or
one of the
not,
dumbest things you've ever said.
because of just because of culture, just because of ethnicity. So black
Those are all
Americans should
different
date
things.
black Americans.
Hmm?
I think that shouldn't be a thing just based on proximity. But let's run down the line, man, because
It's
I want
just
to talk about this, man. I
what are
want
you
to go
talking
down the
about?
line, and first of all, let's go back to the abolition movement. Um,
Abolition, abolition movement.
Abolitionist, yeah, but abolitionist. I'm sorry, I just kind of
Okay. I don't know what you
like,
was
yeah, I'm
talking
kind
about.
of,
You good?
yeah, abolitionist. Yeah, but anyway, um, black men like Frederick Douglass, William Lloyd Garrison, just to name a few, when it comes to certain activists that were for the abolish um, slavery. Oh man, I'm so tired right now. I'm sorry, I didn't really get too much sleep.
I got five
But
on your head.
anyway, huh?
They just put a five on your
But
head, man. Go ahead, Mr. Facts, man. I
oh
be
yeah,
wanting you to hurry
yeah,
up.
I know they don't want to hear what I have to say, but I just want to say this. Um, I mean, there's a lot of people that you can name from the I don't know why it's a tongue twister.
Abolitionists.
Abolitionist,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah, abolitionist to the civil rights when it comes to Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, and of course those figures got unalive, and then more recently, like people like Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I mean, there's a bunch of names that you can bring up where they fought for black women and their rights and for them to have equal opportunities and just for us to have a productive community, a progressive community, and they got unalive. So I mean, the people that you're talking about are the people that they want you to see because of mainstream media. They're going to focus on the ones that aren't for our communities, that are
Yeah.
misogynistic, that are they don't care about our communities, man. They don't care about our women, and they want to bring confusion. And when you focus on people like that, then yeah, it's going to seem like it's the majority of men that think that way, but it's not. Majority of
Khalid
men
Muhammad
we
died of
see when
cancer,
it,
by the way. He wasn't assassinated. But go ahead.
that's what they say. That's what they say, but I don't believe
What
it.
they
I don't
say.
believe that. Yeah, because he was saying too much, and it's too coincidental. But we're not gonna get into no
Coincidental to
conspiracies.
die from cancer as a black man is not coincidental. It's very
No, he did.
common.
Oh, no, he didn't die from cancer, my
He
brother.
did.
Yeah, it was I think it was a aneurysm or something like that. Yeah.
Khalid Muhammad?
Yeah, Dr. Khalid Muhammad. It wasn't cancer.
Oh, I thought it was cancer. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, man, so yeah, men, a lot of men that don't even they don't even have like a dog in the fight right now. Well, we have to rebuild ourselves. I mean, there's so much self hatred right now for ourselves. I mean, you want to sit up there and say, "Oh, we're punching down on black. We're punching down on ourselves." And anybody that hates themselves, they're gonna be toxic to everyone. It don't matter who it is. We just toxic. I mean, when you seeing these drill rappers and you seeing all this stuff going on in our communities all over this country, I mean, how can you point the finger when you see all this? When you go down the line of what happened to us historically, I mean, when you see the history and I'm gonna say the T word. So, and we get no justice for that. Like the people that like the little girls that got unalived at that church, and it took them over 50 years to bring those people to justice. So there's so many other cases that's similar to those stories,
What
and
does
those
this
people
have to do
became
with black men punching
judges
down on? Wait, but what does this have to do with black men punching down on women? I'm so confused. Where's the
because what I'm
relevancy?
saying is because I'm saying we've been fighting for all this time when it comes to oppression. You're talking about racism now, so we have to include this and understanding that we have no system, no structure set up in place. We've tried and we've been shot down, literally. So what I'm saying is this: if it's shown, proven in history that we have fought for our black women, how are you saying that we put misogyny over it?
We haven't fought for black women enough. When they were always like,
So Fr- so
hold on,
Fred
wait, brother,
Hampton wasn't enough when he
hold
got.
on, man, god damn, Mr. Facts. I don't care about. I'm not saying that no black man has ever fought for black women. That's not what I'm saying. But once again, black men throughout the civil rights movement, the biggest rift that existed in the civil rights movement between black men and black women was misogyny. It was because men were largely excluding women from the movement, from leadership roles, from the platform. Like they were not putting women's and children's needs above black men's needs. That's what we were doing. So that whole black power shit ultimately, and then you look at it today, it's ultimately all rooted in black men first, black males first, right? That's why a lot of people move away from like the term black, me included, move away from the term I'm pro-black and all of that stuff, because it's usually pro-black men. That's how most of those movements faltered, because the rift was there between men and women. The women were being abused, the women were being neglected, right? Now, if you want to highlight some black men throughout history to be like, oh yeah, he was on, okay, cool, then yeah, there was a few of them that was about, but collectively we weren't, definitely not as a group outside of the top tier dudes. As a group, black men wasn't, we were not on that type of time, bro. There were interviews. I literally sat down and watched interviews of black men saying the same stuff that black men be saying today about black women. Talking about they're castrating us and they won't allow us to lead and all of that same crap. From the 60s, like 1968. There was a black woman did an interview. She interviewed her friends. I'm pretty sure all of us have seen it at this point. And those black men sounded exactly like black men sound today. Exactly. So you're not finna sit here and tell me, but black men we just was trying to, racism really just did enough. Yeah, we know racism hurt us, but what about misogyny? Because it existed before racism. So why can't we correct our misogyny within our own community? I'm not saying we got to fix misogyny in the world, but why can't we correct it in our own community? Why can't, like, y'all keep talking about bringing black men and black women together? Fix the misogyny, address the misogyny, so we could come together.
What? Well, when you speak on misogyny, my brother, you got to understand too. We had our own culture, which has been abruptly corrupted by YT supremacy. So that's what I'm saying. When you go back in the timeline, you talk about the 60s and 70s. Well, back in the 60s, it's not that the women were excluded, because I could speak from a point of reference when it comes to my mom. And when she said when she was invited to sit down or to go to one of the Black Panther meetings, and she said, you know what she said, why she got turned off? She said, and it wasn't that they were violent, but they was just too militant, because they were able to bear arms, and they had their assault rifles on their shoulders, and
Be
that's
careful
what
with that
that's
language. Be
okay,
careful with
okay,
that
okay,
with the
okay.
pew pew.
But that's right. But it scared her off, just that. And I was like, well, Did they act violent? Did they act crazy? She's like, no, no, what they were saying sounded good. I just got scared because I seen, just how militant they were. So that's what the women were afraid of, and it wasn't that they were excluded. There was other things that they did, that the Black Panthers did to serve the community. When it comes to funding certain things for fundraisers for
That's not what.
kids and so to feed the community and all of that. So this you just have to look into it yourself and do the research. But there's other things that we've done with our communities. But once they infiltrated, once they started to attack us and created strife in our community, strife with our with the men and women, then yeah, of course you're gonna look at it and say, oh yeah, it's because of misogyny. But how can you put that on misogyny when that's not even our culture, that's not our heritage? And I got the proof is when you talk to people that are older and they say, yeah, a lot of what the black men started doing later on was them basically copying the white T man, because they said before, I've heard a lot of older black women say, yeah, black men used to treat uh, women respectfully, and the culture was just different back then. The culture that we
Why are
have
you,
now
Matt,
is not
Mr.
the
Fact,
same culture
why are you
that was
lying
back
about
then.
this to my face though? Like you don't
No,
think that I
I'm
got a
not
black
lying.
grandma?
You just
You don't
haven't
think I
done
got a, hold on,
enough
brother.
research.
Hold on, brother. You don't think I got a black grandma? You just said a lot of black women told you it ain't nothing. What the fuck are you talking about? You heard this from somebody in your family. That's cool. But I'm telling you without a doubt that I have what you telling me, I've never heard that from an older black woman. And because I'm a millennial, whatever, Zennial, whatever, Gen Z, whatever, Gen X, millennial,
Where
whatever the
you
fuck.
from? Where you from
It don't
originally? Like
fucking
where
matter
you
where
from
I'm from.
originally?
It don't matter where I'm from, bro. Nobody
Well,
cares.
then I can't take your word for it.
It's
Then
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Y'all always try to do that stupid
if you're
shit.
afraid
It
to, if
don't
you're
matter where you from, bro. It don't matter where you from. Black people, you just said we got a
it's
culture.
all
You see
credibility
what?
right now.
Hold on, wait, Mr. Fact. You see what you saying? Don't make what you saying. You just be saying stuff.
This
Because in one
man's
breath, hold
afraid
on,
to tell me
Mr.
I'll tell
Fact. Be
you.
quiet. Be quiet. I'm gonna drop you. Just be quiet. I'm gonna let you talk, but let me finish. The craziest thing is that 10 seconds ago you said we got a culture and we should be connected no matter what. Like, okay, cool. Now it's where am I from? What the fuck are you talking about? I'm black in America. That's where I'm from. What do you mean? These experiences are familiar to most black people no matter what in this country, no matter where you're from. No matter if you from Seattle or if you from freaking Saratoga or if you from Florida, it don't matter. It's very similar across the country. So miss me with that. Where I'm from, it don't matter where I'm from. My grandma from Mississippi. My granddaddy is from Louisiana. I'm sorry. My granny is from Louisiana. My granddaddy from Mississippi, right? Where a ton of black people are from. Tons of black people are from there. And I'm telling you without a doubt that black men historically in this country haven't been treating black women well. If you want to blame that on white T man, be my guest. I won't. I won't fall in that trap. I think that's dumb because I don't see proof of that before we got here. Now, does poverty, does racism, does colonialism, does it exacerbate these situations? Absolutely. Absolutely. But did the problem exist before they shoved us on them boats? Yeah. The problem existed before. So I hate when I'm listening to black men, they trying to distance ourselves from that. You're like, nah, it's the white T man that did it. If that's the case, brother, then why are you voting for Trump? Why do you sound like a Republican? Why do you sound like a white T man half the time? The thing that don't make no sense is if you want to distance yourself so much from white T man, then why is your whole brand of politics the brand of politics that is the most extreme and harmful to black people? But then come up here and talk about black people coming together and we need to unite when the thing that you can do the worst to black people is hurt them politically. It don't matter who you hunching on. All the money is white money anyway. I don't even play that game. You got to circulate the dollar in the black community. Where? With who? What are you talking about? It got a dead white man on a damn dollar bill. That's their money. Don't worry about it. It's gonna go back to them no matter what. It's gonna find a way back in their bank account no matter what. Spend your money where you want. I don't care about none of that shit, right? What I'm saying though is the things that you can control, you don't do nothing to stop it. You don't do nothing to help it in real time. Bump the 60s. Let's not talk about Fred Hampton. What about right now? What about the scores of black men that are okay with a white woman coming out talking crazy about black women and about women in general, but black women specifically? What about the scores of black men that's gonna vote for Trump? What about the scores of black men that turn a blind eye to racism over and over and over again because it gives them access to something? So them personally, they feel like they got access to something. I don't know, whatever it is, to white tea supremacy, whatever it is, they will turn a blind eye to the real world ramifications of the politics that exists in our country and in our world. Y'all will turn a blind eye to that, act like that shit don't exist, and then start talking about we need to come together. Starting with you. Change your politics and change your mind. That's who it starts with. It don't start with me. My politics is fine, bro. I don't do nothing my politics don't hurt black people one bit. I very carefully crafted my politics. My brand of politics don't hurt black people one bit. They do not hurt black people at all. Across the diaspora, I would say, not even just in America. Can you say the same thing about yours? Because when I hear you talk, you sound like Trump. That's the thing that blows my mind. Do you think if Fred Hampton was alive today, he would vote for Donald Trump? Do you think if Fred Hampton was alive today, he'd be talking about black jobs and DEI and stupid shit like that? You really think that? You think the chairman would be up here talking about DEI and black jobs? Blaming Mexicans for coming in the country and being forced out of their country from terrible policies from the USA. You'll be blaming them for that shit? You think Fred Hampton would be blaming them? You be contradicting yourself, man, talking about you need to research it. You need to research it. You need to look up their brand of politics.
Okay, I heard what you had to say, but you always pretend like we haven't been ostracized, right? And because of that, how can you sit up here and think that I guess we're with the like we're like the supporting cast to the white T man and everything that he does and the way he thinks and his ideologies. Yeah, I mean it trickles down like eventually, but it's by force. You know, when you understand what imperialism is, I mean, you can't blame the people that are sitting up there being overtaken and the T word when it comes to our quality of life. And the reason why I say this is because when you look at how we used to treat our women, now when you do further research down the timeline, when you look at these wasn't isolated incidents. These are things that was happening all over the country, so it wasn't isolated. That's why we have to use the word T word for what happened. Because when you understand that we were farmers, that we owned land, but then when they usurped us from those lands by force, when they created the T word, how were you supposed to treat anybody when you went through what you went through? How are you supposed to sit up there and give that woman the best of anything when you were violated? You know what I'm saying? So we've been violated in such a major way every time we tried to rebuild, and this is not helping the story, the timeline, by us pointing the finger. All we can do is focus on loving ourselves, loving each other, and regrouping and coming together, just like what the brother said earlier. But when you point the finger, you try to create this gap, this wedge between us and them, and saying we're teaming up with the YT man against them. You're just creating more strife, my brother, and you're not a genuine person. And I wouldn't expect you. I'll let you talk. I'll let you speak. Let me speak. Let me finish. I'm about to land my plane.
Okay.
But I wouldn't expect you to, because like when it's more common when guys sit up there and want to create the strife in those communities and then run to the other side. And yeah, so
I know that's what
you have done.
Facts, though.
There's a disconnect with your community because of what you chose to, how you chose to live your life.
Hold on, brother. I'm not disconnected from the community. I'm really not. Right? I really am. I really know what's going on in the community. You don't. That's what I'm saying. That's the when you guys try to try to act like that means anything, like, oh, you married to a white woman, it makes you look bad, bro. It don't make me look bad. Like, think about what you're saying. That the black man married to the white woman understands the plight of black people better than the black man who proclaims to love black women. The black man with the white woman can clearly clock that this woman was racist and black men are flocking to protect this woman. And I feel like she's dangerous and a threat to all women, but black women specifically. That it takes the black man married to the white woman to say that. But the black man that proclaims to love black women, it's always y'all, miraculously, y'all figure out some way to come up here and run cover for these people. You try to minimize the damage that black men do in our own community. and talk about, oh, we need to let bygones be bygones. Easy to say when you the one that wronged everybody. Of course you want to let stuff go. You talking about, why you bringing up old shit? Brother, you sold dope to us in the 80s. You was unaliving us in the 90s. You was like, what are you talking about? You abuse us right now. What did all the little girls, all the little black girls that get touched in their home, who they get touched by? Oh, the white T man? Nope. Hell no. Miss me with that shit. You telling me that's white T supremacy? Nah, that's maleness. That's misogyny. That's misogyny, brother. You telling me the femicide rate is rooted in white T supremacy? Nah, that's a femicide. That's misogyny, brother. We can fix that on our own without the white T man. There is so much stuff we could fix on our own as black men if we just acknowledge that it was a fucking problem to begin with and stop playing stupid about it. What are you talking about? Where did I run? I live in a black neighborhood. The neighborhood I live in is diverse, to say the least, diverse. But I live in a lower middle class, upper poor class neighborhood in LA County, bro. I live 5 minutes away from the projects that I grew up in. You talking about being separate? What are you talking about? I'm in it. I ain't went nowhere. I could drive to my mom's house right now. If I could get off the car right now, show you I've done it before, and drive down the street to my old neighborhood, dog. Y'all just be talking. You don't know what you talking about. You think it's some gotcha? Like, oh, you got a white woman. So what? So what? That's the thing. Y'all look worse. Every time you say that about me, you look worse. Because they're listening to both of us, right? And they see a black man that proclaims to love black women saying the most anti-black stuff. Then they see the black man who they say, oh, he married to a white woman, not saying anti-black shit. And they go, well, damn, this is confusing.
What have I said that's anti-black? What have I said?
When you tried to minimize
right now in this conversation,
when you were trying to minimize, trying to minimize the real world lived experiences of black women is anti-black. You acting like it's you trying to blame it on the white T man as if black men aren't doing, and black women are telling you that black men are the ones that are doing it to them. That is anti-black. What are you talking? What do you not understand about that?
No. What's anti-black is because you're saying that we basically put misogyny over racism.
That's
like
not
we haven't fought.
That's
like we haven't fought against racism, and you're completely incorrect. You're not.
Sir, our fights against racism have faltered because of our misogyny. You missed the whole point. That's unequivocally true. It's proven.
That's not why.
That is why. That's
an ideology that you have that's based on minimal facts.
Based on the women.
You need more. Do more research, my friend.
Based on the women that were in the movement
you don't have enough
at
facts.
the time. See what I'm saying?
You don't have enough facts to support that.
Based on the women that were in the movements at the time, that's what they say. Angela Davis, that's what she said. You're telling me Angela Davis is lying? You're telling me Asada Shakur was lying? They just made all this stuff up? I got it all wrong. I listened to the women. That's where you went wrong at. You was listening to the men. I listened to the women.
That's one person. She's just a human, just like everybody else. I mean, that's just her perspective.
So you're gonna tell me right now that Mr. Facts knows more about that movement in that time than Angela Davis? That's what you're telling me right now.
Well, let's go to the quote. Let's get some context. Let's go to that quote.
What quote? She wrote so many things about it. She not have one quote about it. She talked about it extensively. That's what I'm saying. It's not about a quote. This is nuts, bro. You're starting your anti-blackness comes out every time, and you keep trying to put it on me, but it don't stick, fam. It'll never stick, bro. I will put my politics up against any of y'all politics any day of the week. I do this all day. You want to talk politics? Let's talk politics.
So you consider yourself pro-black? So you consider yourself pro-black?
I don't. I already told you I don't. Y'all got that, fam.
Then why are you talking about this?
The men like Mr. Facts got that, bro. You got that term. You co-opted it. You got it like woke. Like white T people got woke right now. They got that, bro. They stole it from us. Black men like you, y'all stole pro-blackness from what it really supposed to be, right? Because you're anything but pro-black. You are anti-black. Because you're anti-black woman, which makes you anti-black children, which makes you anti-black men. Like, you are anti-black. You're not pro-black. If you're anti-black woman, you are anti-black, bro. And you are most certainly anti-black woman. No doubt about it. 100%. You're anti all women, but Black women are a part of all women. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you're pro-white tea women or whatever, but you definitely ain't pro-black woman. And if you are anti-black woman, then you are anti-black. Period. Period. Anti-black children, anti-black LGBTQIA folk, which you don't care about. You don't care about them either. You don't care about LGBTQIA folk. You don't care about black children. You don't care about black women. Stop it. You don't care about black men either. Black men are part of the LGBTQIA community, by the way. All you care about is cishet black men being on top. That's all you care about. So you got it. You got the term pro-blackness, fam. Y'all got it. I don't want it. I don't need it. That don't mean I ain't gonna talk about the shit no more. I'm still gonna talk about it. I'm still gonna talk about it. I'll be waiting for the black men who be proclaiming to love black women. I'll be waiting for y'all to step up and do the shit that y'all claim that y'all love to do so much. Do the shit then. Protect them for once. Stop lying. Stop saying, oh, I love them. I protect them. Oh, nah, you just be hunching on them. That's it. That's it. You just be hunching on them. They know that too. They not stupid. They know. They know all y'all want from them is their bodies and their labor. Just like that's what most men want from women. Bodies and labor, bodies and labor, bodies and labor. That's all y'all want. You think they dumb? Mr. Facts, you think you fooling women, bro? You really do. You think you fooling black women? I'll let you talk for the next 30 minutes. You can make your greatest case. You can state your greatest case to them. If they pay to drop you, they drop you. I'll let you go off for 30 minutes. Make your case that you love black women. Prove to us. What's your brand of politics?
One, I'm gonna say this. I don't have to prove to nobody who I love, what I love. You already know what it is. This is the thing. This is the thing. You're trying to put the focus on me, and it's not working because I'm gonna tell you this, my brother. There's a lot of things I see, and there's a lot of holes that I see in your logic that you use.
Point them out.
You only talk about talk about specific things that caters towards a certain narrative, which pushes that YT supremacist agenda. One, you like to create strife. You like to create strife between black men and black.
Hold on, Mr. Facts. Don't use platitudes. Be specific. What is your point of contention? Who am I working for? Say the thing. Don't be vague. This is not the time to be vague. Be very specific. If you're saying that black men allow racism to go on just so they can punch down on black women, that's a problem. That's a problem. Right? You're specifically attacking black men like we put white tea men over black women. So we do.
That's not the case.
We do.
That's not the case.
We put whiteness. We put white tea supremacy and misogyny because
maybe because you have a white tea woman. Yeah, maybe you because you have a white tea woman.
But how?
And your dollars.
But Mr. Facts, if you make that assertion, you have to prove it though. You see what I'm saying?
I just did. You're with a white tea woman. You're not.
Hold on. See, that's how I know
you just said I could talk for 30 minutes.
Hold on, I'm trying to help you out.
You ain't gotta help me out, brother.
Sir. You
ain't gotta help me out. I got this. Let me talk.
You don't got it. I promise you don't got it. You would have to.
Anytime I hit a nerve, you cut me off. Anytime I hit a nerve, you.
Oh, bro, you're just talking. I'm trying to help. I want to have the conversation.
No, you ain't trying to help me nothing. I didn't ask for your help. Why you helping somebody that didn't ask for help?
Okay,
I don't need it.
This is what I want you to do. I want you to tell me.
You just don't like.
No, bro. I want you to tell me specifically.
Go ahead.
I want you to tell me specifically. What do I say specifically that is anti-black? It can't be.
I just said it.
You did it.
Just like on what's on the prompt. You're putting.
That's not anti-black. That's the truth.
Yes,
that's a fucking fact.
No, it's not. No, it's not, my brother.
Okay. Ask all the black women then. If I'm lying, ask the black women. If I'm lying, if I'm making this up, do you think the black women would agree with this or do you think they disagree with this?
I think a lot of black women would disagree. Maybe the people that's
I didn't say a
your
lot.
followers.
Do you think most black women would
agree with anything? If you told them to eat whatever, they'll sit up there and eat it. You know what I'm saying? They'll follow you. I say that they follow you. Whatever you tell them, that they'll follow.
Every black woman. I don't know 0.1% of all black women. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about your followers.
I'm not talking about my followers. I said black women as a whole, as a group. You talking about my few thousand followers? I'm talking about the millions of black women that exist. Do you think that they would agree with this or not? That's what I'm asking you. Most of them. Not do some not agree with it. Of course, not everybody agrees with anything. Do most black women agree with this? Do you think that they've experienced this? You think I just made this up? You think I just pulled this out my ass? I got this from some white person somewhere in a think tank, which makes zero sense. Because why would a white tea person say this? Doesn't make sense. So anyways, you tell me, where did I get this from? If I didn't get it from black women, because that's where I got it from.
I'm gonna tell you where you got it from. You got it from these ideologies of these professors and people that examine society, and you think you're coming up with your own thought.
Oh my God, this is so pointless.
But it's something that
women, bro.
It's something that
literally, I got it from black women. They literally said this to me. Like, I've had the conversation with them. They've said it to me time and time again. And then guess what happened? One day, I actually was like, wait, that's true. When I started to unpack my own misogyny. Before that, I didn't see it because I wasn't unpacking my misogyny. When I was still in that, when I was in the code, I couldn't see it.
I gotta ask you this. So you really think that we love misogyny more than we hate racism? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't say, brother, I don't say shit
that doesn't make sense.
You keep saying that, but you can't prove it. I'm proving to you without a doubt.
Fred Hampton. Did Fred Hampton
love misogyny
more than race? Oh my God! Oh my God!
One black man.
You a fool. That one black man had a movement started. He had a whole movement started, dummy.
He didn't start a movement.
He had a whole movement started. That was
he didn't start the movement. He was a part of the movement. He didn't start it. He joined the Black Panthers. He didn't start the Black Panthers. He didn't start a movement. He participated in a movement.
He was pushing further to the movement. It doesn't matter. He was a part of the movement, and he was pushing it further.
Yeah, and I would love to know specifically, what did Fred Hampton say about women? What was his goals for women specifically? Since you keep mentioning
his goals,
what was his goals
for women specifically? I mean, his focus with the Black Panthers, man, their whole focus was us fighting for our rights, man, for us to be protected from police brutality and protecting our community. So women were a part of that. You know, it was just all about community.
How big that was? When I ask you for specifics, you don't know. So what does that tell me? You don't know. It's okay. Just say, I don't know. I don't know what he said specifically about women, but I don't think that he was anti-black woman. You can say that.
Of course he wasn't anti-black woman. What are you talking about?
Huh?
Of course he was an anti-black woman, you know? And that's the thing, man.
I don't know that about Fred Hampton, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, out of all the Black Panthers, Fred Hampton, it was my favorite one. No doubt about it. He was my favorite one. The reason why he was my favorite one was because of the way that he went about organizing everybody. The way that he went about
and died at 21.
The way that he went about organizing
or 22, something like that.
All the communities, right? Like the working class communities. He was like, we need everybody in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Yada yada yada. That's why I love Fred Hampton. That's really the main thing. He was a real life communist. I love Fred Hampton. I love communism. That's my thing, right? Y'all know that. So that's why I rock with Fred Hampton. But when it comes to women specifically, I don't know what Fred Hampton was on. I don't know what plans he had for women specifically. I've never heard anything. That doesn't mean that because I'm not acting like I'm a Fred Hampton, like I know everything that he's ever said, but I don't know. So I was asking you, since you keep defending him, what was his plan for women specifically?
My whole point is this, why I brought him up was, the point is that they unalived him, so it doesn't really matter at that point. But what I'm saying is this, no. Listen. No, brother, this is the thing. Let's say he had a plan for black women. It didn't come to fruition because they unalived him. So who's the problem? Us or them?
Both.
Yeah.